Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare your fabric um, for the slip stitch. It's going to be a little bit more in-depth of a preparation than for the other samples. So we are going to leave a space open at the top of our fabric, but then we're going to do a running stitch around the other three sides and the edges of that fourth side that we're going to leave open. So the first thing we're going to do is our mark where we're going to do our stitches. So for this one, I'm going to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I've got my first edge along my 1/2 inch line, and I'm going to line up my edges with any of the inch markings on my ruler. We're going to leave a 4-inch opening. This should be an 8x5, a set of your 8x5 rectangles. So we're gonna sew 2 inches on this side and 2 inches on this side and leave 4 inches in on the middle. So I'm gonna measure in 2, and I know that's where I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna measure in 2, and that's where I'm gonna start. And then I'm gonna just work my way around all the other edges. Right here at the beginning where I stitch, I'm gonna mark 2 stitches and 1/8 of an inch, and then from there I'm going to mark 1/4 of an inch. Until I am 1/2 an inch from the edge. That's where my seam allowance is going to turn. This last one right by the corner, I'm also going to mark 1/8 of an inch. Because we're going to be flipping this inside out, it's just easier to have, it'll flip easier if we have slightly smaller stitches around our corner. So I did 2 2/8 of an inch markings, and then 1, 2, 3/4 of an inch markings, 4 1/4 of an inch markings, and then 2 more 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to pivot. I'm going to line myself up with 1/2 an inch seam allowance. I'm going to mark 1/8 of an inch around the corner, another 1/8 of an inch, and that's where I'm going to pick up and start doing 1/4 inch marks for my running stitch. Okay, as I get close to my 1/2 inch seam allowance where I'm going to pivot, again, I'm going to give that just 2 1/8 inch stitches so that my stitches are a little smaller as I go around the corner. And then same thing, I'm going to line myself up 1/2 an inch, find my last marking, I'm going to come in 1/8 and 1/8, and then I'm going to pick up and go 1/4 of an inch across the rest of the sample. Okay, and then as I get 1/2 an inch away from my next turn, I'm going to mark and give myself 2 1/8 inch stitch markings so they're just a little closer around that corner. And then same thing as the other sides. Line up my seam allowance, give myself 2 1/8 inch stitches, and then do 1/4 of an inch until I get to the next corner. Okay, and then when I get to my 1/2 inch, I'm going to give myself 2 1/8 inch markings and pivot my corner. On this last section, you'll want to look for that mark where you already marked where your stitching is going to stop, and then just line yourself up with the 1/2 inch seam allowance, do an 1/8 of an inch mark around the corner, and then 1/4 of an inch, and then right up to your mark, we're going to give ourselves 2 more 1/8 of an inch markings. So I hope you can see that on camera. How most of the way I'm giving 1/4 inch marks for my running stitch, but then I'm going to do just a slightly smaller stitch at the corners so that it stays together when it turns. So now that I've marked, I am ready to start sewing. So I'm going to grab my needle that I've already got threaded up and knotted. I'm going to work this way around my sample just because that is easiest for me as I'm right-handed. So I'm going to go down through the fabric in my first mark and come up through my second. And then to make sure that this the edges of this opening stay really tight, I'm actually going to backtrack to that first dot and create that stitch a second time. This is what we call a back stitch. So it's similar to what we did when we did the line of back stitching, but we're just going to do one stitch of it to start our row of stitches. And from here on out, I'm just going to do a running stitch. I'm going to load a couple on there. When I get to my corners, my stitches will be a little bit smaller. That's okay. That'll just help give us a nicer corner when we flip it. As I come to the corner, the running stitch is going to happen the same way. I'm going to go in and out of the fabric. I'm just going to change direction as I go around that corner. And then I'm going to just keep working my way along the length. As I'm coming to the end of my thread, I'm just going to tie a knot and hold those loops down at the edge of the fabric and pull my knot through so that my knot ends up right at the edge of my fabric. And then I'll thread up a new needle and pick up from where I left off. Okay, so once I've got my new needle threaded up, I'm actually going to go through that same hole that I went through before, just so there's not a break in my stitching. And then just pick up and continue with my running stitch. Okay, so when I get to that last marking, I'm going to go back and do a back stitch again. So I'm going to go back to that second to last marking and then come through the last one again, just so that I have a very secure stitch at the edge of my opening. And then once I've done that, I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to take my needle through that last stitch to create a loop. Then I'm going to send my needle through that loop, and that'll create my knot just right at the edge of that stitch. There we go. And I'm going to do that a second time so I have a double knot, just so that I know it's very secure. Okay. So once I've trimmed off, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip this pocket so that it is right side out. So I'm going to open up the opening I just created, and I'm going to pull my corners. It's kind of easier if you help your corners fold on themselves. So I'm just folding my corner on itself and then pinching it as I flip. And then I'm going to kind of just work my way and do that to each corner. I'm going to fold that down, pinch it on both sides, and pull that corner through. The last two corners up on the top side are a little harder to get to, but just wiggle your thumb in there, fold that side down, fold that side down, flip it through. And then get your thumb to that last corner, fold it down, fold that side down, and flip it through. Okay. Once you're flipped through, go ahead and take your point turner at the end of your seam gauge and use it to poke out your corners a little more. I'm going to use my pen since my point turner is not on hand. So I'm just going to use that sharp tip of the point turner or whatever you've got to poke out those corners so they're nice and crisp. Okay. So once those are good, I'm going to make sure that the seam allowance of my folded section is folded neatly inside so that it creates a straight line in between my openings so that my seam allowances are ready to go for my slip stitch. And then once I've got it here, I would recommend giving it a nice press to create a good firm crease along those edges. And then your pocket is ready to go for the slip stitch.